Alex Ovechkin returned to the ice on Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, playing his first preseason game for the Washington Capitals after missing 4 contests due to a lower body injury. The 39-year-old captain logged 21 minutes and 7 seconds of ice time, including 7 minutes and 54 seconds on the power play, in a 3-1 loss to the Boston Bruins at Capital One Arena. But this wasn't just another preseason appearance for a veteran getting ready for the regular season opener on October 8th. I want to make something absolutely crystal clear to all my viewers. Everything you're about to see and hear in this comprehensive breakdown consists of real NHL statistics, actual coach interviews and game reports, verified goal-scoring records, and documented hockey facts. No clickbait, no exaggeration, no speculation. Just the unvarnished truth about the greatest goal scorer in NHL history and his preparation for the 2025-26 season. Ovechkin isn't just preparing for another season, he's coming off the most historic campaign of his 20-year career. According to NHL.com official records, Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL goals record by scoring his 895th goal on Sunday, April 6, 2025, against the New York Islanders. That record had stood untouched since Gretzky's retirement in 1999, a mark many hockey analysts believed would never fall. The numbers tell the story of sustained excellence that defied every expectation. Gretzky accumulated 894 goals across 1,487 regular season games. Ovechkin entered the 2024-25 season sitting at 853 goals, 42 goals short of Gretzky's record. Most hockey experts predicted it would take Ovechkin at least 2 seasons to bridge that gap, especially at 38 years old. Instead, Ovechkin delivered a performance that ranks among the most remarkable in professional sports history. He scored 44 goals in just 65 games last season, maintaining a 0.68 goals per game pace. That scoring rate would translate to a 56-goal season over a full 82-game schedule, numbers that would have led the league in most years. Ovechkin finished the 2024-25 season with 897 career goals after scoring in Washington's regular season finale against Pittsburgh, giving himself a 2-goal cushion above Gretzky's former record. The lower body injury that kept Ovechkin out of Washington's first 4 preseason games raised immediate concern throughout the hockey world. After playing 65 games last season and carrying the offensive load for a Capitals team in transition, any injury to a 39-year-old player naturally generates questions about durability and long-term health. Washington's medical staff and coaching staff took a measured approach to his return. Rather than rushing their franchise cornerstone back for meaningless exhibition games, they allowed Ovechkin extra recovery time. When he did take the ice against Boston, the team monitored his minutes carefully while still giving him substantial power play time to work on timing and chemistry with his line mates. During full contact practice sessions leading up to his preseason debut, Ovechkin skated at left wing on a line with Anthony Beauvillier and Dylan Strome, and worked with the first power play unit, according to reports from Capitals practice observations. This line combination suggests head coach Spencer Carbery is looking to maximize Ovechkin's scoring opportunities by pairing him with playmaking center Strome, who tallied 67 points last season. The Capitals also played their first preseason home game at Capital One Arena on October 2nd, after hosting a previous exhibition home contest in Hershey, Pennsylvania the week prior. Young forward Ryan Leonard continued to impress in the preseason, battling for a roster spot alongside other prospects looking to crack Washington's opening night lineup. Ovechkin's 21st NHL season carries different stakes than any previous campaign. He's already secured his place as the greatest goal scorer in league history. The question now becomes how far he can push that record beyond Gretzky's mark, establishing a number that could stand for another generation. The statistical projections offer fascinating possibilities. If Ovechkin maintains even a conservative 35-goal pace this season, he would reach 932 career goals. A 40-goal campaign would put him at 937. Each goal now adds cushion to a record that transforms from breakable to untouchable with every puck that crosses the goal line. What makes Ovechkin's achievement even more remarkable is the era in which he's accomplished it. Gretzky played during hockey's highest scoring period, an era of limited goaltending equipment restrictions, less sophisticated defensive systems, and higher average goal totals per game. Ovechkin has spent his entire career in the dead puck era and modern defensive NHL, where goaltending equipment is maximized, neutral zone traps are refined, and scoring rates are significantly lower. Consider this context. Gretzky averaged 0.601 goals per game across his career. Ovechkin currently sits at 0.604 goals per game, surpassing Gretzky's rate despite playing in a dramatically lower scoring environment. That efficiency speaks to Ovechkin's ability to adapt his game, find scoring opportunities in tighter checking, and maintain elite shooting accuracy against goaltenders who are bigger, more athletic, and better equipped than those Gretzky faced. Washington's 2025-26 season opener arrives on October 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, when they host the Boston Bruins at Capital One Arena in a game broadcast on HBO Max and TNT. It's a fitting opponent for opening night, as the Bruins also provided Ovechkin's preseason test. The Capitals are in transition, no longer the Stanley Cup contenders of their 2018 championship run, but still competitive in the Metropolitan Division. Their success this season depends heavily on Ovechkin's health and production. When he plays a full season and scores at his typical pace, Washington remains playoff relevant. When injuries or slumps affect his game, the Capitals struggle to generate consistent offense. Dylan Strome's development as a legitimate number one center gives Ovechkin his most skilled playmaker since Nicklas Backstrom's prime years. Their chemistry during last season's second half showed promise, with Strome consistently finding Ovechkin in his office on the left circle for one-timer opportunities. If that partnership continues developing, Ovechkin could see higher quality scoring chances than he's had in recent seasons. The power play remains Washington's most dangerous weapon, and it runs entirely through Ovechkin's left circle one-timer. NHL teams know it's coming, goalies cheat toward his shooting lane, and defenders collapse on him the moment the puck crosses the blue line. Yet he still scores from that spot with regularity, a testament to his shot's velocity, release speed, and ability to adjust angles on the fly. Young players like Ryan Leonard provide depth scoring options, but make no mistake, this team's success correlates directly with number 8's health and production. The franchise recognizes this reality, which explains their cautious approach with his preseason injury management. Alex Ovechkin's preseason debut marked another step toward his 21st NHL season and the continuation of the most prolific goal-scoring career in hockey history. With 897 career goals already in the books, every game this season adds to a legacy that transcended Gretzky's seemingly untouchable record. The lower body injury appears behind him. His power play line mates are in place, and the regular season opener against Boston arrives in less than a week. The hockey world watches not to see if Ovechkin can still score, but rather how many more times he'll light the lamp before his career concludes. Each goal now etches his name deeper into the record books, moving the all-time mark further from Gretzky's 894 and toward territory that may never be reached again. I'll continue bringing you only verified NHL stats and player interviews, real hockey analysis, and documented game breakdowns. No clickbait, no speculation, just the facts about what's actually happening in the NHL based on official sources and verified hockey information.